Stop what you're doing, you have to watch through to the end to see how Dolly Parton transformed heartbreak into hope. You won't believe the tragic real-life story behind the Queen of Country. Dolly Rebecca Parton, the fourth of 12 children, was born on January 19, 1946, in a little two-room cottage in the rugged hills of Tennessee. There was no electricity or running water in that cabin, and the only restroom was an outside outhouse. Robert, her father, earned barely enough money to put food on the table by working long, hazardous hours as a handyman and coal miner. 2. Stretch every dollar. Her mother, Avie Lee, took care of a dozen children, mended shoes, sewed garments by hand, and tended a tiny garden. Dolly frequently claims that because she was born into a household that was too much month at the end of the money, she developed a strong sense of resourcefulness and a strong desire to help others. Dolly's first love was music. She penned her first song at the age of 7, performed in church, and won talent competitions. By the age of 8, she was making pennies that seemed like gold on local television and radio broadcasts. She never lost sight of her roots, though. Even as her star ascended, she bought her family a humble home with electricity and running water, basic amenities they had never experienced. With her first royalties, her lifetime goal to give back to her community and beyond began with that act of love. Even with her early success, Dolly had a difficult journey to stardom. In her teens, she relocated to Nashville and slept on a friend's apartment floor while pursuing recording opportunities. Despite being turned down by every label she tried, she persisted. While she waited for her big break, she refined her craft and wrote songs for other musicians. After she eventually signed with Monument Records in 1967, her duet, Just Because I'm a Woman, started to garner attention. Her legacy in country music, however, was solidified by her own recordings of Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, and I Will Always Love You. No amount of celebrity could make up for the heartache Dolly endured behind the scenes. Her cherished mother, Avie Lee, passed away from breast cancer in 2000. The illness persisted despite Dolly's support during surgeries and therapy. She never entirely recovered from the wound caused by losing her mother at the age of 74. Dolly has stated in interviews that Avie Lee was her pillar of support, teaching her the value of love, faith, and generosity. Following her mother's passing, Dolly dedicated her life to breast cancer research, sponsoring women's health initiatives nationwide and providing financing for mobile mammography machines that travel to rural places. She claims that each life saved feels like a present from her mother. When Dolly was only a teenager, her older brother Floyd passed away in a construction accident, causing yet more sorrow. The family was shocked by his demise at the age of 21. Dolly wrote Light of a Clear Blue Morning, a song about finding hope after loss, as a way to express her pain via music. Years after she recorded it, it became an anthem for anybody going through a difficult moment, demonstrating that even the most profound sadness can be turned into something lovely. Dolly faced difficulties in her personal life. In 1966, she wed Carl Dean, her high school sweetheart. A private man, Carl avoided the limelight while Dolly's career took off. She missed her partner's comfort and came home to an empty house after decades of touring and filming. She has talked in interviews about how lonely it is to be famous and how she wishes someone could share both the acclaim and the responsibilities. But despite everything, she and Carl remained faithful, demonstrating that love can withstand the most trying circumstances. Dolly's benevolence grew greater in spite of these setbacks. She established the Dollywood Foundation in 1995, and in 1996 she began the Imagination Library, a program that sends free books to kids under 5 years old. The initiative has now distributed more than 1 million books to children worldwide, giving them access to education that they might not otherwise have. Dolly's dedication to literacy and education stems from her own early years, when books were valuable possessions that inspired her aspirations. Despite her traumas, Dolly continued to have huge dreams. She established the entertainment park Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in 1986. By creating jobs and stimulating the local economy, the park rose to prominence as a significant employer in the area. In her community, she constructed a medical facility that provided people with access to healthcare they had never had before. She gave $1 million to relief efforts following deadly wildfires in 2016 and reopened Dollywood early to provide free admission to firemen and their families. Dolly has consistently responded to calamities by giving of her time, money, and heart. Make sure to subscribe right away if Dolly's story inspired you and you want to read more true tales of inspiration and success. It only takes a click to get your next dosage of heart and hope.